Welcome to Wilderness Master 101, a series brought to you by WildernessMaster.com, and I'm Luke Stevens, your host. Today we are going to talk about some basic first aid kits. I've collected an assortment of them, want to kind of just show and talk to you a little bit about them, maybe open up a couple of them, as well as some other first aid supplies that you might want to consider having when you're out there. So let's get started. So I've got a set of first aid kits here. As you can see, most of them haven't even been opened up. I've been purchasing them for some of the show here. We'll walk and kind of talk through them. So one of the things that you need to think about when you're getting a first aid kit is how you're going to use it, how you're going to carry it. You can't always carry every first aid piece of gear that you need. In fact, even when I was a Special Forces medic and we had these nice big M5 bags, we were always making choices based on what we were going to be doing and how we were going to be doing it on what we carried. And there were always trade-offs. That's what a first aid kit is about. Now, a tip and trick that I'm going to give you right now about first aid is learning to optimize what goes into this kit and create components in there that are force multipliers. In other words, a Band-Aid's great, but guess what? Duct tape's better, because I can cut duct tape up into a Band-Aid, and with a little piece of gauze, I've got a Band-Aid. I can also take duct tape and I can seal off a chest wound. I can actually use it to create a splint on a limb if I need to. So when you think about putting your first aid kit together, think about putting things in there that are going to give you a lot of bang for your buck. So let's talk real quick about some of these first aid kits. First, you got to look at the form factor. So we've got a few kind of large ones here, a couple of large ones. You know, you're not going to be carrying this in your day bag or your hunting vest. These are a little bit big for that. You're probably going to go with something a little bit smaller here, like one of these. I typically, for my hunting, carry something about that size that I've put together myself. But hey, this is the type that you might carry with you when you're put one of these in your boat, or you might carry it in your backpack if you've got multiple members and this is your piece of gear you're going to carry as part of your member gear. In fact, this one says that this is a 1 to 4 person gear. You got a medium-sized one. This may be, if I was going out on an individual trip, the size that I would carry for that sort of trip, and I would make sure I packed it down to the things that I absolutely needed in there. And then you got the ultra small individual kit. In fact, this one says it has 60 pieces, and if you actually look at the little chart there, it's mostly Band-Aids. That's pretty cool. I actually bought this one, guys, not because of what's in it, because I wanted the bag to create some of my own first aid kits. Now, another important thing that I just want to pass along, I've actually created first aid kits out of Ziploc bags. I've created first aid kits out of camo kind of pockets that came on my hunting vests and things like that. I literally did buy this for the bag because 2 reasons. Got a couple of scenarios that I like to carry about this size kit. I want to fill it full of stuff. I want something that zips really good, is going to hold it. But I also wanted something that was clearly a first aid kit. I actually got up in a tree stand one day and had a bit of this may be one of those moments where I thought I was going to have a bad moment in my life. And I had my little camo first aid kit that's part of my hunting vest that I carry with me. And I thought, you know what? If one of my buddies finds me out here, unless they've got their own first aid kit, they might not figure out that I have this first aid kit on my, in my gear, because it doesn't look like it. It just looks like a piece of camouflage, part of the rest of the vest and stuff. So I started thinking, I really ought to carry my first aid kits in something that looked like a first aid kit. And I kind of recommend to you that unless you have just a very low budget and you want to stick it in a Ziploc bag or some other bag you can find, maybe investing in a few of these. You can find these online. This one was actually pretty cheap. I think this was $4 or $5 and it came, with some Band-Aids and stuff, which was kind of nice. So let's look at a few things that are in this kit here. It's a little bit more thorough of a kit. Talk about getting started. Now, one of the things I like about buying a first aid kit to get you started is most people's brains begin to explode when they start thinking about, what do I put in my first aid kit? And they go to their local drugstore, pharmacy, Costco, Walmart, wherever, and they just start buying all these medical supplies and they don't really know what or how to assemble them. So the nice thing about buying a kit is it at least starts you with some items that pretty much you're going to need most of the time, or you're going to need some of them, and gives you at least a starting point that you can begin to expand into your own things. This is a nice little kit because it starts off with a few little medicines here that come in their own little medicine pouch down there. You have your bandages over here with some tape. You have a couple of guides like bleeding and CPR guide here. Over on this side, you've got more of what I call convenience medical items. You have, your kind of a mini ACE bandage there. You have some Q-tips. You actually have a whistle, and we have a tip and trick about the whistle. You got some gloves. You got some scissors. Now, let's pull a little bit of this out here so you can see it. Now, this is kind of a nice little first aid kit. Actually, it's a kind of a mini survival kit. You have a kind of rustic pair of tweezers there. You actually have a pair of scissors. These are all really good things to have in a general medical kit. An ACE bandage. ACE bandages will be used everything from your joints to if you need to compress a wound that's bleeding, for instance. ACE bandages can be used for that. Your Q-tips are great as well. You can always clean your ears out and clean your nose out with them while you're in the field. No, actually use them to put medications on sometimes. You use them to dab in small wounds to actually help you flick bee stings and other things out like that. Then you got a pair of gloves. I always recommend you carry a few pair of gloves, even if you're not going to carry a first aid kit. They were thoughtful enough to put a cold compress in here. They also have the whistle. They have a compass. And here's something, guys, that I'm going to tell you most first aid kits don't have. This is a dream miracle item. It's the old safety pin. I highly recommend you go out and you buy stock in safety pins because they're going to come back. I know this is a 1950s thing, but believe it or not, when it comes to survival and medicine, safety pins are one of the greatest items you can carry in your first aid kit. So for a first aid kit, this isn't a bad choice. This is actually a pretty good starting point. It covers a lot of the bases. You have your normal bandages. You have your tape that you're going to need. You have some of the support items. Now, I will tell you that this kit right here, it's kind of flimsy. I mean, these scissors aren't going to last long, but hey, if I had to use them in the field, they work. These tweezers aren't going to last long, but hey, they're a starting point that I can use. And the nice thing about a first aid kit like this is it gives you a starting point to think about and to work up your own first aid kit from. So this one is made by Adventure Medical Kits. I'd go out and look them up. They probably have some other ones on there that have a little bit more deluxe ability, but pretty good first aid kit to get started. These other ones here, I don't think they're quite advanced. This one may be. Let's talk about a few other products that you may want to consider carrying with you if you're going on certain type of journey. These are called splints. They're little plastic they've got some metal insert in them so that you can build a splint out of them. If you're going anywhere that's rugged, that you might twist an ankle, that you might fall down and stretch out your arm and have a fallen outstretched arm injury, it's called FOSS. I would always throw some of these in your pack or your bag or your gear. You never know when you're going to need to splint something up, and those are nice and easy to do. Here's a cool little item I found recently, and that's the Dental Medic. We oftentimes don't think about dental issues when we're out in the field. We think, hey, I have actually been caught with a tooth that begins to go bad when I started a journey, and believe it or not, these types of things can be lifesavers. This has some basic dental stuff. It also has some antiseptic and other things for your mouth that can numb some analgesic. That's what I meant to say. And then here's a nice one. You saw the compress that was in there. It was one of those that you squeeze and you bust the little interior bag. Here is Glacier Gel. And Glacier Gel is not a cold compress exactly like that, but it's used on hot spots on your body like the feet. This is a great thing for blisters. Or feet that have some other issues with them. I'd highly recommend carrying that, and you can see it's really flat. anybody's going to be doing any backpacking, hiking, backcountry, grab some glacier gel and carry that with you. Okay, this is not everything. We'll actually bring some advanced tools in here. I have complete sets of dental kits and all sorts of things that we'll show on display. The main purpose of this video was to just give you an example of kind of the diversity of things to look for out there and some examples of some kits to get you started. I'm Luke Stevens, and this is WildernessMaster.com.